Danganronpa, another episode. Ultra Despair Girls is a completely different take on the Danganronpa series, and though it may not be my favorite, it's definitely enjoyable and a nice change of pace. I played this in between Danganronpa 2 and 3, even though technically in the timeline it's in between 1 and 2, but was just playing 2 already and waiting for this game to go on sale. And when it finally did, I bought it. But this game, not a visual novel. It is a third-person shooter, and it's definitely not what you would expect if you had only played 1 and 2, and then or even just 1 and then pop this one in to play. But definitely out of the 3, I haven't finished Danganronpa 3, but this is still my least favorite. But that says more about how much I like the other ones than how much I don't like this one. In this game you play as Makoto's sister, and you visit a few pre-existing characters, but a trend is you see a lot of the previous game characters, siblings, and loved ones. And this makes sense as you are a previous character's loved one, and you find out, spoilers for the rest of the video, that you are, the reason why you were kidnapped is for one of the motives, and all of the other loved ones of all the other captives from Danganronpa 1 were also held captive here. But the Monokumas have ran rampant in this town, and they are under control of 5 kids. And you have to defeat each of the 5 kids for the 5 chapters. And I will say the boss battles are probably the most fun part of the game. Which, I mean, you can say the same about most games. But the boss battles, they're in an arena. And it's just a fun experience. I see some people talking about the lackluster gameplay, but I thought it was a pretty fun game still, even if it wasn't a part of the Danganronpa series. I like it more because it is, but I thought I'll admit, somewhat basic gameplay actually worked, and it was still fun. And I mean, different from any other game I'd really played, because you see a lot of FPSs, not third-person shooters. So, and it was definitely nice. I love visual novels. Ace Attorney is my favorite game, but it was a nice change of pace. To play a shooting game for once, or even just a non-straight visual novel. But I would say my biggest issue with the game is didn't love the story. I mean, I like her and Taka's relationship and how they bond, but you just whine too much as a character, and then you suddenly flip and stop whining, which I like, but the whining and complaining goes on for a bit too long. But the story's still not bad, it's just not the best, and then they do handle some touchy subjects, which I think they do a good-ish job, and then are very not so good job at sometimes, because there's a lot of talk about kids and stuff you shouldn't do with kids. I'm trying not to say it, but if you know, you know. And reading the reviews, they made it, at least in my opinion, a little worse than what it was for some of them. But they probably should have tackled it another way. Because each of the 5 kids had something happen to them that made them messed up, which is a sad, reality in life, but maybe not the best thing for a kid. I wouldn't call this a kid's game, but for a video game to, talk about have intercourse with a 10-year-old and, abuse and, stuff like that. So, but like I said, the game's still fun. The story suffices, and I very really love the Danganronpa universe. So overall, I give this game a high 8.5, or realistically like an 8.8 or 8.7 is what I gave it out of 10. Which compared to Danganronpa 1, which got a 9.5, and 2 that got a 9.2 or 9.3 depending on the day. 3, I'm about 8 hours in, but I'm really liking it. I'm just playing other games at the moment, so I haven't been able to dig too deep into it. But I really would like to see another Danganronpa game in the future. Don't think one's coming soon, but I can wish. But this is Sauce signing out. Peace.